So, थोड़े लोग आ गए हैं already, so let them in. Otherwise, you will also be sharing screen, na?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I'll make you go. Diksha, I think we can start.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's program hosted by Chamber for Advancement of Small and Medium Businesses. I would request everyone to please mute yourself. If you have any question, please put it in the chat box. We'll have a Q&A session at the end. Now I'd like to invite our president, Mr. Nilesh Lelese, to give a brief overview of today's program and also introduce today's speaker. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Diksha. Very warm welcome to our guest speaker today and a very good friend, Mr. Dinesh. Also, welcome to all our other attendees. Welcome to our weekly finance facilitation cell session today on Thursdays. Probably most of you have been attending our chamber webinars and must be by now familiar that we recently founded this chamber late December 2020, And we are based out of Mumbai with our office in BKC in Bandra. And we are very active on all our social media sites. And in case you have missed any of our past webinars in the month of March as well as in the month of May, they are all available on our YouTube channel CASMB India. The chamber was founded with a mission to work closely with all stakeholders, predominantly for the advancement of micro, small, and medium businesses. We carry a vision to make MSMEs more resilient and make them even a stronger backbone of Indian economy. So many people have asked me why this chamber, why at this time. So as we all know, MSME is a backbone of Indian economy and it contributes almost 30% to the Indian GDP. 48% of manufacturing exports comes from MSME, and especially due to COVID times. In fact, just today we have I've received a couple of messages on WhatsApp where MSME segment has been struggling. A lot of industries, especially non-food industries, have been struggling. But hopefully and definitely through our efforts with the chamber, we want to make MSMEs rebound and make them even more stronger and more resilient. Such scenarios can happen even in future, but definitely make them all the more resilient. Why MSME is important? Because it employs almost 11 crore people, and that's precisely why it's called the backbone of the country. In fact, on December 28, 2020, Honorable Minister for MSME has shown us a vision and given us a target that the MSME should contribute not just 30%, but 40% to the Indian economy, and the export contribution should go up from 48% to 60%. If this becomes a reality, then the MSME is expected to add another 5 crore jobs in next 5 years. So with that vision, with those wise words of Honorable Minister, late 2020 at the height of pandemic COVID-19, many of us like-minded people came together and founded this chamber with a single target in mind: to empower the MSME entrepreneurs to achieve the next level of success. We have listed few objectives, and obviously as overall we want to work towards advancement of MSME segment, but at the same time we also want to represent the MSME sector in various forums, be it government forums, bureaucratic forums. We also want to empower farmers to become and think like entrepreneurs, do value addition to their produce. And in past few weeks we have brought various experts who have spoken about various innovative techniques to preserve, to add value to their produce, right from novel jaggery processing, novel turmeric processing technology, to fruit winery. And most of this, if you have missed any of these expert lectures or webinars, you can go on our YouTube channel and watch them. The idea of the chamber is to bring together the convergence of research happening at various research institutes, academic institutes. There are different technologies that are available for transfer. The government, especially the central government, is very active with regards to various schemes and policies. So we want the chamber to be a single point of contact where all the convergence of all these aspects are happening, and our MSMEs can benefit out of it. We also are helping MSMEs develop products which can cater to global markets. Through programs such as these or webinars such as these, we are building the doing capacity building of our MSMEs through training and development. And hopefully post COVID, we will be arranging many study tours, helping come up with strategic tie-ups for our members, organize as well as participate in exhibition. We are barely 3 months old, officially launched on March 1st, 2021. And we have a very strong advisory board as well as a management team with vast experience in the field of food, finance, sales, marketing, entrepreneurship. We also have our footprints in not just in Maharashtra, but also in Gujarat and Goa. And we look to expand in further other states of India as well. So in the month of March as well as in the month of May, we have had a particular theme to the webinar series. On every Mondays, we are bringing MSME entrepreneurs who talk about their journey, their success story, their failures, what they have learned and what others can learn from their stories. On Tuesdays, we have brought speakers from various institutes, including NIFTEM, Institute of Chemical Technology, BARC, who have spoken about various technologies that are available and ready for transfer, which can be picked up by startups as well as MSMEs. Wednesdays, we have had sessions on different topics. Right from like yesterday, we spoke about smart factories, the future of manufacturing. We have had experts talk about from Malaysian Palm Oil Board. We have Dr. Nagendran talk about palm oil applications. On Thursdays, we have tried to address the other key issue that many MSMEs face, which is the finance. And today's session is based on that, where we have kept hearing about this PLI scheme under the Atmanirbhar Bharat, which is a performance link incentive. So Dinesh ji is one of the experts in that field. So we look forward to listening to him. And in past, we have had sessions where experts have spoken about the Spurti scheme. Last week, we had Chartered Accountant Maheshwar Marathe talk about the package scheme of incentives for the state of Maharashtra. And obviously, in case you have missed any of these sessions, feel free to visit our YouTube channel. All the webinars are uploaded, and we feel very proud that more than 3,000 people have watched all our webinars live, as well as we have currently seen more than 3,000 views on the YouTube channel with 700 plus YouTube subscribers. In the month of April, post our initiative in webinar series in March, we realized that there are certain other key initiatives that we should launch, which will specifically address some of the issues that MSMEs slash startups are facing. And we launched the Startup Buddy program, or a mentor-mentee program, where we have assigned mentors to various startups. And in fact, we have been doing this for quite some time through WhatsApp groups. We have more than 10 WhatsApp groups where different startups are connecting with different stakeholders, but we want to formalize this into a startup buddy program so that our startups or MSMEs can benefit from the experience of different veterans. We also realized that yes, a lot of startups, MSMEs have good products, but they are not able to sell, and that's why we came up with this buyer seller meet, where we're almost very close to announcing the date in the month of June, where we will have a buyer seller meet for food industry, where we have already tied up with different distributors, category managers of modern retail, exporters, and hopefully we hope to have actual business happening in that buyer seller meet. Another key challenge a lot of MSMEs or startups face is raising capital, and that's why we have started the investor network, where we have a pool of investors, and any startups looking to raise money can reach out to us and become part of this initiative that we had. The fourth initiative, which will actually take more shape in the month of June, is the industry defined problem. And in fact, maybe in a day or two, we'll be launching our internship initiative, where a lot of students from colleges are looking for internship, but because of the lockdown are not able to go. So we are trying to make a sandwich internship program, where through our experts we will provide them trainings, and through the industry defined problems they can actually work on live projects or live challenges that our members are facing. So this is going to be a key initiative which will also benefit the industry, because they'll get solutions to their problems, and to the students who are looking for a certain kind of internship, even if it is virtual, because it's also part of their curriculum. So these were the four initiatives we launched in April, and then we have received really good results, and we are hoping to probably spend more time in the month of June. So tomorrow will be our last session of the webinar series in the month of May, and we're planning to take at least a 15-day break so that we can, again spend some time and effort in these four initiatives. We have also started the member meet, where all our members meet and network with each other and share business. And a women's cell has also been initiated, so that we want to encourage more and more women entrepreneurs becoming entrepreneurs. And in fact, we had a fantastic woman entrepreneur, Jayanti Madam, speak on this platform on Monday. She spoke about her journey with regards to Purna Brahma, which is a chain of Maharashtrian restaurants, not just across India, but even few restaurants in outside India as well. Obviously, all these initiatives, you can be part of it as a member. There are a lot of benefits and a few other benefits. Like today's program is also supported by four of our partners, including AFST Mumbai chapter, All India Food Processors Association, NetPro-FAN, and Entrao2. So if you're a member with us, you can all obviously attend their programs either for free or for subsidized rate. So it's like a barter that we have with these other partners that we have. And last but not the least, our chamber office is available for use either for your team meetings or client meetings in case you don't have any presence in Mumbai. So what have we achieved in last 3 months? So we have started mentorship program for through the Startup Buddy program for more than 250 food startups, and we are hoping that a lot of these will benefit a lot through the mentors that we have who are veteran either in industry or in entrepreneurship. We have had 15 startups pitch on our platform, and some of them are in advanced stages of getting funded. Buyer seller meet is almost finalized, so hopefully we hope that a lot of business can actually happen and our members can benefit through actual business happening through the chamber. And technology transfer has been another big success where a lot of startups have already been in advanced stages talking to these innovators, including we had on this Tuesday, we had an innovator who spoke about his dehydration technology, which is primarily conduction based rather than typically convection or radiation based. So a lot of these technologies transfers are also in very advanced stages in terms of discussion, and we feel very happy and proud to actually make a difference to at the ground level and not just discuss and forget about it. We have tried to keep the membership fee as low as possible, and based on the classification of MSME, we have increased the fees. But up to a turnover of 5 crore, you can be a member with a chamber by paying a fees of 2,500. This is my number and email address. Anybody has any questions, wants to reach out to us, needs any help, feel free to contact me or anybody in my team, including Diksha, Prajakta, or Umesh, or any of our advisory board members. We will be more than happy to help you achieve the next level. So with this, I will introduce today's speaker, a very good friend, as well as an expert in this field. Just one second. And he's always there whenever we invite him. He is always ready and has delivered one webinar in the month of March where he spoke about different schemes under the Ministry of Food Processing. So in case you have missed any of those, you can watch Dinesh Kumarji's talk in the month of March. But let me briefly introduce you to Mr. Dinesh, who has acquired his degree in economics from Delhi University and later on went on to complete his MBA in 2009. He has more than 10 years of working experience, mostly in financial and business consulting projects. He's a person who endorses presenting truth without embellishments. He started his career from a small investment planning firm as an investment advisor and later worked for many MNCs such as Ernst & Young, Grant Thornton, to name a few. He has donned several important roles and involved in various projects, including identification of M&A targets, conducting due diligence, preparing teasers and pitch books. He has also supported several projects in terms of content for the thought leadership. He carries a vast range of skill set, including supply chain and market analysis, feasibility study, business plans, financial modeling, preparation of detailed project reports. Some of his highlights of his career, projects that he has worked on. He has done a due diligence of a project for setting up of an IQF, individually quick frozen processing plant. He was also part of the team which did the long-term productive partnership proposals for the World Bank funded project called SMART. State of Maharashtra is the agriculture and rural transformation, which is a World Bank supported initiative. He has also worked for development of technology reports for the Rajasthan Agriculture Competitive Project funded by the World Bank. He also worked on financial models for the HPMC Himachal Pradesh Marketing Corp for the greenfield as well as brownfield apple processing plants in Himachal Pradesh. So as you can see, he carries a vast experience in designing and implementing projects at the government level as well as at the private level. And he's an expert in this field of schemes and subsidies. So warm welcome, and over to you, Dinesh ji, to please enlighten us about this production link incentive scheme that we have been hearing for quite some time now. Over to you.
Thank you, Nileshi, for this brief introduction of me. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
And can you also see the screen which I have?
Yes, yes. But if you want, if you can do full screen, it will be even better. Right now, it's
Okay. Is it okay?
yeah, perfect.
Okay. So, hello everyone, and I'm happy to see that in the phase of pandemic, everybody is so excited to run their business smoothly and look forward to have the information on the production link incentive, which is recently launched by Ministry of Food Processing Industries. So I'll give you a brief about the scheme and various aspects which can help you to decide whether the scheme is suitable for you or not. So without wasting much time, I'll go ahead and start the session. So first, I'll give you a very brief about this scheme, which is production linked incentive. As we can understand, the name suggests that these are incentives which are linked to our production. And by incentive means that government is ready to give us support in terms of sales reward and support in terms of expanding our network in the international market. So the scheme is central government scheme that intends to support and incentivize food processing companies only in India. Now the objective is to create global food manufacturing champions, promote India brands in international market, increase employment, and definitely ensure remunerative price for the farm produce. The implementing agency name is Ministry of Food Processing Industries, which is there for the support for this sector. Now, the total budget which is assigned is 10,900 crores, and the implementation period will be 2021 to 2026 FI. Now, the classification, so I'll give you a brief structure how the scheme is divided. So, if you go to the guidelines, you may find there are three categories: category 1, 2, and 3. Now, how these categories are designed, first is basis the size. Category 1 comprises of all those applicants which are into large scale organizations. Category 2 is for those who are into SME space but into innovative and organic product manufacturing. Category C is basis the geographies of operation. So if any Indian company, any Indian food processing company selling their goods abroad, either large or SME, can fall in this category. Another classification of category 1 is basis these selected industries. So there are only four categories of companies who can apply in this. First is the RTE, RTC. So RTE by mean ready to eat and ready to cook products. Second category of companies, processed fruits and vegetable. Third is marine products, and fourth is mozzarella cheese. So when I say these four product category, that means companies who are selling their products to the end consumers, they can participate and take advantage from PLI scheme. So we move to category 2, wherein the product categories are little beyond and includes poultry, meat, and egg products as well. So the specification for this industry, for this category, is that companies whosoever is into the innovative product manufacturing. So when I say innovative, I mean that either their product ingredients are different, either the quality which they are giving to the customers are different, or the processing technology is different. So they can fall in the innovative and organic product categories. The condition is such that they have to be in the consumer space. So by mean B2C players can take the advantage under this scheme. Category 3 is for exporting, whosoever is into the exporting their products and services. So any Indian company, either large or small, selling their products on their own brand name in the international market can take the advantage. Now I'll tell you the advantages to category 1, 2, and 3. So category 1 can get the incremental sales incentive. So there are certain eligibility which I will discuss in the following slide. So basis the eligibility, whatever incremental sales they generate in the next year, they will get certain percentage on that as a reimbursement. So this is called incremental sales incentive. So for example, अगर हम अभी 500 करोड़ के टर्नओवर पे है और अगले साल 600 करोड़ का टर्नओवर होता है, तो वो 100 करोड़ का डिफरेंस ऑफ सेल्स इज कॉल्ड इंक्रीमेंटल सेल्स, और उस पे जो इंसेंटिव है जो आपको अगली स्लाइड में मिलेगा, दैट इज कॉल्ड incremental sales incentive. Similarly, category 2 will also get incremental sales benefit. Category 3 is for incentivizing branding and marketing activities abroad. So इसमें जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल आप एक कंपनी है फूड में जो ऑपरेट कर रहे हैं और आप अपने प्रोडक्ट्स दुबई, यूएई और मे बी सऊदी कहीं भी आप सेल कर रहे हैं अंडर योर ओन ब्रांड रजिस्टर्ड इन इंडिया, तो आप उस ब्रांडिंग और मार्केटिंग एक्टिविटीज के एक्सपेंसेस को कुछ रियम्बर्समेंट फ्रॉम द मिनिस्ट्री आप ले सकते हैं. सो इनोवेटिव एंड ऑर्गेनिक प्रोडक्ट्स के लिए जो एक रिक्वायरमेंट है, ऑर्गेनिक प्रोडक्ट हैज टू बी समथिंग व्हिच इज सर्टिफाइड बाय एपिडा अंडर एनपीओपी ट्रेड, यू कैन से रजिस्ट्रेशन. एंड इनोवेटिव प्रोडक्ट्स, एज आई सेड, कि जो भी प्रोडक्ट्स हैं जो इनोवेटिव टेक्नोलॉजी से हैं या फिर उनके प्रोडक्ट इंग्रेडिएंट्स इनोवेटिव है या उनकी क्वालिटी इनोवेटिव है, सो दे कैन फॉल अंडर दिस कैटेगरी. So next, this slide talks about the key eligibility categories for category 1 and category 2. Category 1 is for large players, तो उनके लिए जो minimum sales है, if you can see the left hand table, this talks about the minimum sales eligibility. So any company operating in the RTE or RTC category has to have 500 crore sales in the last year. Similarly, processed fruits and vegetable company has to have a minimum sales for 250 crore. Similarly, उनका एक minimum CAGR है 10% for RTE, RTC, and similarly 10% for processed fruits and vegetable. हर इंडस्ट्री जो भी इनमें क्लासिफाई हो रही है, इनके लिए एक मिनिमम इन्वेस्टमेंट का एक टारगेट है. सो फॉर एग्जांपल, कोई लार्ज कंपनी जो ऑलरेडी एक बास्केट पे है, एग्जांपल देते हैं 250 करोड़ की बैकेट में है, वो 10% से ग्रो भी हो रही है, लेकिन उन्होंने इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं करना चाहते हैं नेक्स्ट 2 इयर्स में, तो वो इस स्कीम के अंडर बेनिफिट नहीं ले पाएगी. अंडर कैटेगरी 2 विच इज फॉर द एसएमई स्कीम, उनके लिए जो एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरिया है वो है आपका पहला कि जो भी इनोवेटिव और ऑर्गेनिक प्रोडक्ट्स के जो सेल है लास्ट ईयर 2019-20 की, वो इट हैज टू बी मिनिमम 1 CR. और अदर रिक्वायरमेंट्स में उनका उद्योग आधार रजिस्ट्रेशन या उद्यमी रजिस्ट्रेशन होना चाहिए. एंड थर्ड इज दैट their products should be, in fact must be, registered with EPIDA under NPOP certification. There are certain notes which I have mentioned जो कि बहुत जरूरी है हमें समझने के लिए. ये कैटेगरी 1 के लिए हैं जो लार्ज कंपनीज हैं. मिनिमम इन्वेस्टमेंट जो कैटेगराइज करेंगे मिनिस्ट्री, जो कैलकुलेट करेंगे, उसमें आपका प्लांट एंड मशीनरी पे एक्सपेंसेस, सिविल वर्क पे और एसोसिएटेड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पे जो भी आप इन्वेस्टमेंट करना प्लान कर रहे हैं वो कंसिडर होंगी. और इसके अलावा जो इन्वेस्टमेंट हमने लास्ट ईयर यानी कि 2020-21 में कर चुके हैं, उसको भी मिनिमम इन्वेस्टमेंट की कैलकुलेशन में किया जाएगा. इसमें कोई भी लार्ज कंपनी अगर खुद से प्रोडक्ट मैन्युफैक्चर कर रही है या फिर अपने को मैन्युफैक्चरर से करवा रही है, तो दोनों को ऐड करके अपनी मिनिमम सेल्स में दिखा सकती है. बाय द एंड ऑफ ईयर 3, अगर हम इन्वेस्टमेंट जो हम प्रपोज कर रहे हैं कि हम 100 करोड़ 50 करोड़ जो भी एलिजिबिलिटी है, अगर हम नहीं करेंगे तो हमारा ईयर 3 में वो सारे के सारे इंसेंटिव से हमें बैकआउट कर दिया जाएगा. सिमिलरली CAGR भी एक इम्पॉर्टेंट क्राइटेरिया है फॉर कैटेगरी 1. अगर हमने वो CAGR जो एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरिया में दी हुई है अगर अचीव नहीं करी, सो उस साल हमें वो बेनिफिट नहीं मिलेगा. लेकिन ये कैटेगरी 2 विच इज SME कैटेगरी, इसके लिए ऐसी कोई कंडीशन नहीं है. SME जो कैटेगरी है उसके लिए सबसे इम्पॉर्टेंट है आपका सेल्स और दूसरा उस प्रोडक्ट का इनोवेटिव रजिस्ट्रेशन. अब इंसेंटिव की बात करते हैं कि जो कैटेगरी 1 और 2 को है, अगर आप SME हैं और आप रेडी टू ईट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में हैं, तो आप अगले 5 सालों तक ये रेट ऑफ इंसेंटिव्स अचीव कर सकते हैं. सो फॉर एग्जांपल, जैगरी बेस्ड स्वीट कोई बना रहा है RTE कैटेगरी में, तो अगर उसका करंट टर्नओवर 20 करोड़ है और नेक्स्ट ईयर वो 25 करोड़ टर्नओवर करता है, तो डिफरेंस 5 करोड़ का 10% उसको नेक्स्ट ईयर रिइम्बर्स किया जाएगा। सिमिलरली वो ऐसे अगले 6 सालों में जितना भी एडिशनल रेवेन्यू अर्न करेगा, उसका रिस्पेक्टिव परसेंटेज उसको फॉलोइंग ईयर रिसीव होगा। सिमिलरली प्रोसेस फ्रूट्स एंड वेजिटेबल के लिए भी रेट सेम है। मरीन प्रोडक्ट्स, जिसमें आपके कोई भी मरीन यानी कि आप जैसे कि कोई भी फिश, फ्रोजन फिश बेच रहे हैं ऑलरेडी मार्केट में, तो उसके ऊपर आपको इंक्रीमेंटल सेल्स बेनिफिट 6% है। लेकिन अगर उसमें आप कुछ वैल्यू ऐड कर रहे हैं, जैसे कि आप फिश बेस्ड पैटीज बना रहे हैं या फिर फिश बेस्ड कोई भी प्रोडक्ट बना रहे हैं, तो उस पे आपको फ्लैट बेनिफिट मिलेगा 10% ऑफ योर इंक्रीमेंटल सेल्स। नेक्स्ट इज कैटेगरी 3, which is incentive for branding and marketing activities. So कोई भी कंपनी जो इंडियन बेस्ड रजिस्टर्ड है, वो इस इंसेंटिव स्कीम का बेनिफिट ले सकती है। कंपनी को चाहे वो स्मॉल स्केल की हो या लार्ज स्केल की, उनको नेक्स्ट 5 इयर्स का ब्रांडिंग एंड मार्केटिंग का रोड मैप देना पड़ेगा। सो बाय रोड मैप आई मीन कि हम अगले 2 साल दुबई में इन मॉडर्न रिटेल पे अपना अपना प्रोडक्ट्स बेचेंगे। थर्ड ईयर में हम मे बी सऊदी और अदर मार्केट में एक्सपैंड करेंगे। तो हमारे पास पूरा 5 साल का रोड मैप होना चाहिए आज ही, जिसका हम जो भी एक्सपेंस प्रपोज करेंगे कि हमारा हो सकता है अगले साल 1 करोड़ रुपया स्पेंड करेंगे दुबई मार्केट में अपने प्रोडक्ट्स को लेकर, तो हम उसका 50% और 3% ऑफ द प्रीवियस ईयर टर्नओवर, दोनों में से जो भी मिनिमम होगा वो हम ले सकते हैं। सो कहने का मतलब है कि अगर हमारी सेल्स 20 करोड़ है आज की डेट में एसएमई की, और वो एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा है कि अगले साल हमारा ब्रांडिंग एक्सपेंडिचर 5 करोड़ होगा, सो 50% ऑफ एक्सपेंडिचर यानी कि 2.5 करोड़ या फिर 3% ऑफ द सेल्स विच इज 20 का 3% यानी कि 6 करोड़, तो उतना हम ले सकते हैं। इसके लिए जो लिस्ट ऑफ एक्टिविटीज हैं वो कुछ मैंने यहाँ पे डाली हैं, जैसे कि हम ब्रांडिंग इन स्टोर ब्रांडिंग के नाम पे अगर कुछ एक्सपेंस प्रपोज कर रहे हैं, वो हम 50% रिइंबर्स कर सकते हैं। शेल्फ स्पेस रेंट करना चाहते हैं तो वो लिस्टिंग फीस हम रिइंबर्स कर सकते हैं। सोशल मीडिया अगर वहाँ पे हम लोग, या कोई भी प्रिंट मीडिया या कोई भी मार्केटिंग एक्टिविटीज जो हम वहाँ पे इनिशिएट करेंगे, उन सारी एक्सपेंसेस का 50% वी कैन गेट। मिनिमम एक्सपेंडिचर जो हमें नेक्स्ट 5 इयर्स में दिखाना है फ्रॉम द एसएमई कैटेगरीज और फ्रॉम द लार्ज कैटेगरी हैज टू बी 5 करोड़। तो अगर हमारा नेक्स्ट 5 इयर्स में ब्रांडिंग और मार्केटिंग में 5 करोड़ मिनिमम स्पेंड होना है, सो दिस इंसेंटिव इज फॉर यू। अब आपको मैं थोड़ा सा इसका प्रोसेस बता देता हूँ। इसके जो प्रोसेस है दिखने में सिंपल है, लेकिन इसमें काफी ज्यादा कैलकुलेशन और स्ट्रैटेजिक थिंकिंग है। तो इसकी जो एप्लीकेशन है वो 3 पार्ट्स में डिवाइडेड है। पहला है एप्लीकेंट की डिटेल्स, जिसमें बिजनेस की, प्रमोटर्स की और मैनेजमेंट की बेसिक डिटेल्स देनी है। उनकी जो एमओ है, पार्टनरशिप डीड है अगर पार्टनरशिप कंपनी है तो, ये सब देना है। सर्टिफिकेट आपके देने हैं, जैसे एनुअल रिपोर्ट्स देने हैं आपके। ऑल सॉर्ट ऑफ डॉक्यूमेंट्स विच जस्टिफाई दैट यू आर इन दैट सेल्स कैटेगरी। सेकेंड इज प्रपोजल। प्रपोजल इज समथिंग विच इज अ डीपीआर, जिसमें आप सब बताएंगे कि हमारा नेक्स्ट 5 साल का इतना टारगेट है सेल्स का। हम उसमें इस टारगेट को अपने खुद के मैन्युफैक्चरिंग से पूरा करेंगे या फिर हम को मैन्युफैक्चरर के रूट को फॉलो करेंगे। हम इतनी इन्वेस्टमेंट करना चाहेंगे, हमारा ब्रांडिंग और एक्सपेंडिचर, मार्केटिंग एक्सपेंडिचर जो है वो इतना रहेगा नेक्स्ट 5 इयर्स तक। तो ये सारी डिटेलिंग, और इस डिटेलिंग में निटी-ग्रिटीज काफी हैं। सो अगर हम ये सोचे कि हम सिर्फ ब्रांडिंग का एक्सपेंस ये बता दें कि हम अगले साल 2 करोड़ रुपए खर्च करेंगे, इट विल नॉट वर्क लाइक दैट। हमें पूरा बताना है कि वो 2 करोड़ किस मार्केट में, किन रिटेल चैनल्स पे या फिर किस चैनल ऑफ मार्केटिंग में हम स्पेंड करेंगे। सो डिटेलिंग इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इन दिस स्कीम। एंड थर्ड इज द प्रूफ ऑफ फीस, कि हमने जो फीस है वो सबमिट करी है, उसका प्रूफ हमें देना होगा। सो जैसे ही एप्लीकेशन फाइल होगी, उसके बाद जो पीएमए है यानी कि प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट एजेंसी है, वो उसको इवैल्यूएट करेगा, अपने रिमार्क्स जो है वो मॉफी की टेक्निकल कमेटी को भेजेगा। टेक्निकल कमेटी उसे असेस करके अपने इवैल्यूएशन के बाद उसको अप्रूवल या रिजेक्शन विद इन 90 डेज ऑफ एप्लीकेशन सबमिशन आपको देगी। तो जो भी एप्लीकेंट है उसको 90 डेज में ये पता लग जाएगा कि उसको ये एप्लीकेशन स्कीम में कुछ इंसेंटिव मिला है या नहीं। जैसे ही आपका अप्रूवल आएगा उसके बाद 90 डेज के अंदर 5 डेज के अंदर आपको पीएमए आपका स्टेटस देगा कि आपकी एप्लीकेशन रिजेक्ट हुई है या अप्रूव हुई है। और जैसे ही अप्रूव होगी, सो देयर आर सर्टेन लिस्ट ऑफ डॉक्यूमेंट्स विच वी हैव टू सबमिट, और वो मैंने यहाँ पे इंक्लूड नहीं किए हैं क्योंकि वो काफी है ज्यादा, और उसका डिटेल जो है आपके गाइडलाइन डॉक्यूमेंट्स में क्लियरली मेंशन्ड है। एप्लीकेशन की फीस जो है कैटेगरी 1 के लिए 1 लाख है, कैटेगरी 2 के लिए 10,000 है, और कैटेगरी 3 जो है उसके लिए 10,000 है फॉर एसएमई और 50,000 लार्ज एप्लीकेंट्स के लिए है। सो ये स्कीम उन लोगों के लिए बहुत बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है जिनके पास अपने नेक्स्ट 5 इयर्स का विजन है कि वो कहाँ, कितना, कैसे अपने बिजनेस को ग्रो करेंगे। इस स्कीम के अंदर गवर्नमेंट ने ये ध्यान रखा है कि जो भी आपको एक्सपेंशन के लिए सपोर्ट चाहिए होता है इन टर्म्स ऑफ अपने नेटवर्क को ग्रो करने के लिए या फिर अपने वर्किंग कैपिटल के लिए, तो उन इंसेंटिव्स को सेल्स के ऊपर और अपना ब्रांडिंग के बेसिस पे आपको देने की स्कीम ये लाई है। इस स्कीम की जो लास्ट डेट है एप्लीकेशन की वो 17 जून है, बट गिवन द लॉकडाउन इन द मोस्ट पार्ट ऑफ द कंट्री हमें लगता है कि ये एक्सपैंड होगी डेट, और इसका आप जरूर फायदा उठाएं बिकॉज दिस इज अ वेरी वंडरफुल स्कीम, और इसमें आपको हर साल अपने उसी डेडिकेशन के साथ अपने डॉक्यूमेंट्स को सबमिट करना है। हर साल आपको सिर्फ अपने प्रूफ दिखाने हैं कि जो भी आपने सेल्स कमिट करी थी या जो भी आपने एक्सपेंसेस कमिट किए थे वो आप कर रहे हैं, and you can get the benefit basis the respective slabs. So this is all about the production linked incentives, and last पे मैं आपको बस थोड़ा सा एक व्यू दूंगा कि मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ फूड प्रोसेसिंग जो है वो सब्सिडी विच इज द प्रोडक्शन लिंक्ड इंसेंटिव के अलावा देर आर अदर स्कीम्स जो कि किसी भी न्यू ग्रीनफील्ड प्रोजेक्ट के लिए बहुत बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। सो पहली स्कीम जैसे एग्रो प्रोसेसिंग क्लस्टर है जिसमें 10 CR का बेनिफिट है, तो अगर किसी को भी स्मॉल इंडस्ट्रियल फूड पार्क बनाना है तो दिस स्कीम इज फॉर देम। उनके लिए उनको एक 10 एकड़ का लैंड पार्सल चाहिए, एंड along with this there are certain other eligibility that we can discuss offline. ऑपरेशन ग्रीन स्कीम है जिसमें इंसेंटिव मैक्सिमम 50 CR का है। दिस स्कीम इज बेस्ड ऑन सर्टेन क्रॉप्स, तो किसी भी क्रॉप, देर आर सर्टेन क्रॉप्स इंक्लूडिंग पोटैटो, अनियन एंड टोमेटो, देर आर 20 क्रॉप्स। अगर उस क्रॉप्स के ऊपर आप अपना कोई भी बिजनेस का इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर प्रपोजल लाते हैं सो यू कैन गेट बेनिफिट ऑफ अप टू 50 CR। कोल्ड चेन डेफिनेटली दिस इज द हिट स्कीम फॉर मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ फूड प्रोसेसिंग जो मेरे ख्याल से जुलाई में हम एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं। तो इसमें कोई भी डेयरी प्रोसेसिंग का प्रोजेक्ट, मीट प्रोसेसिंग का, फ्रोजन फ्रूट्स एंड वेजिटेबल का, तो ऐसा कोई भी प्रोजेक्ट जिसमें आपको फ्रॉम स्टार्ट टिल एंड आपको कोल्ड चेन का इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर चाहिए, सो दिस स्कीम इज फॉर देम। बैकवर्ड एंड फॉरवर्ड लिंकेज स्कीम, कोई भी अगर प्रोसेसर अभी ऑपरेट कर रहा है और उसको अपना फॉरवर्ड और बैकवर्ड इंटीग्रेशन करके अपनी प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी इंक्रीज करनी है, सो दिस स्कीम फॉर इज दोज पीपल। लास्ट इज CEFPPC स्कीम। ये स्कीम आपको मैक्सिमम 5 CR का इंसेंटिव देती है फॉर पुटिंग योर प्रोजेक्ट, एनी प्रोजेक्ट, इररिस्पेक्टिव वो कोल्ड चेन का है, एम्बिएंट एनवायरनमेंट का है, B2B है, B2C है, कोई भी प्रोजेक्ट अगर आप सेटअप कर रहे हैं फूड पार्क या फिर एग्रो प्रोसेसिंग क्लस्टर में, सो दिस स्कीम इज फॉर यू। So in last I'll tell you about my organization a little. We are into business consulting, financial consulting and market consulting. You may find कि consulting का spelling जो है वो K से है, C से नहीं, so there is a story behind which I will not share it right now. But in business consulting we provide services, जैसे किसी के पास पैसा है और वो invest करके कुछ food processing में अपना startup करना चाहता है, but he is not aware of the actual opportunity, तो हम उसे opportunity identification and project designing में help करते हैं। सिमिलरली किसी भी ऑपरेटिंग कंपनीज के प्रोसेस को कंसल्ट करके हम उसमें इनएफिशिएंसीज को आइडेंटिफाई करके रिकमेंडेशन प्लान बनाते हैं। सप्लाई चेन ऑप्टिमाइजेशन में अगर उसकी कोई भी सप्लाई चेन है जिसमें अगर कुछ एफिशिएंसीज को हम ला पाएं तो हम उसको थ्रू दिस कंसल्टिंग सर्विसेज हम इम्प्रूव करते हैं। And last is the product and price benchmarking, क्योंकि आज की डेट में right product at right price at right packaging is very important. तो हम इस services के अंदर हम बताते हैं कि आपका क्या प्राइस एंड प्रोडक्ट का बेंचमार्किंग होना चाहिए. फाइनेंशियल कंसल्टिंग में हम जो जैसे डीपीआर है, प्रोजेक्ट वायबिलिटी रिपोर्ट है, बनाते हैं. सेकंड, हम जैसे गवर्नमेंट सब्सिडी और ग्रांट में हेल्प करते हैं एंड टू एंड. सीएफओ सॉल्यूशन जो आपका जैसे काफ़ी एसएमईज हैं जो एक सीएफओज नहीं रख पाते हैं, तो हम उन्हें शेयर्ड बेसिस पे सर्विसेज देते हैं, जिसमें हम उनकी सारे एक्सपेंसेस को एनालाइज करके हम उनमें एफिशिएंसीज निकालकर उनमें सेविंग्स उनको बताते हैं कैसे. And the last is due diligence, definitely. Last service line is the market consulting, wherein market scanning की अगर हम किसी नई मार्केट में जाना चाहते हैं तो हम उसको स्कैन करके बताते हैं कि what are the key indicators that can help you to get the right market space. Second is the strategic marketing plan, which is the next level of market scanning activity. हम procurement facilitation और market facilitation में भी हैं. तो जैसे कि किसी को अगर मैन पावर सोल्यूशन चाहिए तो हम उन्हें मैन पावर की एजेंसी से कांटेक्ट करा के उनके लिए हम स्किल्ड मैन पावर भी अरेंज करते हैं. सिमिलरली अगर रॉ मटेरियल चाहिए तो उनको रिस्पेक्टिव रॉ मटेरियल भी प्रोवाइड करवा सकते हैं. एंड सिमिलरली मार्केट फैसिलिटेशन में उनकी हम मार्केट लिंकेज में सपोर्ट करते हैं. तो फॉर एग्जांपल कोई भी अगर है तो उसे हम एंड मार्केट में रिटेलर से कनेक्ट करके, डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर से कनेक्ट करके उनकी सेल्स को एक्सपैंड करने में ग्रो करते हैं. सो दैट्स ऑल अबाउट मी एंड माय ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. सो थैंक यू वेरी मच. किसी को कुछ भी अगर क्वेरी है सो he can note down my number and reach out to me anytime, any day, and I'll be more than happy to help. So that's all from my side. If you have any questions, although मैंने बहुत ज़्यादा quickly ये session ले लिया, तो I saved some time for you as well.
Thank you, sir. I think there's a question in chat box. Is this scheme only for existing unit? What if we are startup and in ideation stage or product development stage?
Sorry, this scheme is not for startups or ideation space people. However, there are certain other grants जो मैंने आपको बताई हैं second last slide पे. So if your project side matches them, so you can get the funding support in that. But production linked is, as name states, कि it is linked to the existing production. और उसमें भी there are certain eligibilities. So this is not for you, sir.
Anyone else can unmute themselves.
Hi, Deepak here. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. So I have a question like you talked about SME and PLI being eligible. SMEs are eligible for PLI. But what about micro food enterprises who have less than 1 CR as a revenue? Do we need to go with that PMFME scheme only and this PLI is not applicable for them?
As you have rightly understood that this scheme is not for micro entrepreneurs, which is at the basket of less than 1 CR turnover. Also, PFME scheme is also, I don't think so that it is for you, because there is certain buckets wherein you can apply. जैसे कि आप common infrastructure create करना चाहते हैं, processing plant डालना चाहते हैं. So I don't think so that scheme is for you as well. Hello.
Yeah, I get that. I am talking about PM formulation of micro food enterprises. So that scheme typically works for existing micro food enterprises who might not have even with them or GST or stuff like that, so that they can be brought into mainstream enterprise thing. As well as they said, what I know is like they have identified ODOP and only those products for new startup, they will be eligible for this scheme.
Correct. Absolutely correct. So ODOP means कोई भी so actually Ministry of Food Processing has mentioned the list of districts and respective products. So for example, अगर आपको कोई tomato में project setup करना है, so in Maharashtra, so Pune is one district wherein you can put in your project. Similarly, अगर आपको onion में करना है तो Nashik is one district wherein you can put up your project. So उसमें आपका individual के लिए है 10 lakhs का incentive है for putting up your project. जिसमें आप कोई भी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर रिस्पेक्टिव कमोडिटी पे सेटअप कर सकते हैं.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Any questions? Maybe they can contact you offline.
Yes, sure. So I'll rest my presentation, but only thing I want to say is that before making any decision with respect to setting up of your project, it is very important to scan the environment in the right approach and understand whether you have any potential to leverage the cost of funding, like grants ऐसे available हैं. There are many people who are not even aware कि Ministry of Food Processing कोई भी या कोई support के बारे में. So if at all you have a connect with those people जिन्हें ये पता नहीं है, I would request you pass on the information and increase the people who can leverage this benefit. And there are many people who can get you the grant. It is only that the eligibility has to meet, and rest ministry is always there for promoting those enterprises who want to set up their projects in this space. So that's all from my side, and if at all I can be of any help, I'll be very happy. Thank you.
Sir, if you can put your email ID in the chat box.
Oh, I forgot. Okay, I'll put it in the chat box. Sorry.
So we have another question, if you can take it. As a startup consulting, if a person have budget between 10 to 20 lakhs, then also you will consult, or it should be a project like 1 CR plus.
So, okay, so as a choice, we have not got into the startup space because of many reasons, but it is not like that. Startup is something wherein the ball game is different and the scheme portfolio is different. However, if you have any, request with respect to making the project report, understanding the business, I can be of any help. I can do that. But if you are looking forward to me for the maybe grants or subsidies, so in that case, I may not be the right person because I do not have any access to the schemes for the startup. But you can reach out to me for any strategic or financial research opportunities.
Okay, thank you. It's or food processing business. There's a continued question.
Yes, yes. So overall, I have more than 12 years experience, largely into food space. For the last 4-5 years, I have been working in the food processing business space only. As you might have understood that I do not have any technical degree, so I'm not the one who can tell you about the technicalities of our raw material. However, I'm fully equipped to understand the dynamics of a business. So आपको मैं ये जरूर बता सकता हूँ कि if you want to put up a example pulp plant, so which location can be right for you basis the quality, price and other dynamics of the business. But अगर आप ये मुझसे पूछेंगे कि इस आम में कितना chemical composition क्या है, so I would not be the right person. I'm a pure business, financial, ऐसा कुछ भी अगर आपको चाहिए so reach out to me. And this food processing space is my passion. So I was working in Grant Thornton. I was working as a manager in that company. I left the company just because that I want to give justice to our clients, and so that he or she can come back to me for the next projects as well. If I'm not aware of anything, I can straight away say that I am not sure that if I can do, but if I can do the justice of the project to the project, I definitely do not leave that project, even if it is a small fee project or a big fee project.
Thank you, sir. Okay, I think there are no questions. You can reach out to Dinesh sir offline or Nilesh sir if any other questions. So So I would like to propose a vote of thanks. Sincerely, thank you, Mr. Dinesh Kumar sir, for your time and a very informative session. Thank you to our support partners, AFST Mumbai chapter, Entra2, NetProgram, and All India Food Processors Association. And thanks to all the participants for attending today's webinar. I declare the session as ended. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.